千里之行，始于足下。A journey of 1,000 miles begins beneath the feet. We now gather in the Tao to travel the journey together. Welcome to Tao Talks with Derek Lin, where we take a deep dive into the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. As always, I want to extend my welcome to you. Thank you for joining us. I would like to invite you to center your thoughts and direct your attention to this moment in time, to the here and now, to be fully present and mindfully aware as we are ready ourselves for this sacred process in the Tao with one another. So I want to start with this right here. This is a person who does not know or practice the Tao. The pattern, because this person doesn't know or practice the Tao, is going to be overall the negative side of the equation. These are patterns that we have seen in life. So imagine what happens when this person is lashing out in anger towards someone else. In blue, I've got the initial recipients of this negative energy. So when this happens, there's of course going to be an effect. There's going to be a negative consequence. This can easily happen to people who are not aware of the Tao, or perhaps study the Tao but doesn't apply it. Either way, we're talking about this person losing his temper, lashing out blindly. The negative energy that's received by this person in blue doesn't just dissipate. This person feeling negative will be venting frustration on someone else. So this can take different forms of negative manifestation. Either way, we've got an unhappy exchange of energy, and the bystander becoming unhappy and negative as well, will direct blame and criticism to the original initiator of that energy exchange. But then that's not the end of it. The initial recipients of negative energy may complain to yet another person. Already, we've got a doubling of energy from the initial projection of negativity. And it doesn't end there, because the initial recipient is now retaliating, striking back. This is the tripling that will oftentimes occur in life. Of course, the person who does not understand any of this may feel like the world is out to get him, not realizing he is the origin of his own misery. So what about the positive side? Let's look at another example, this time somebody who understands and practices the Tao, the sage. This can also be a Tao cultivator like you and me. If you and I understand the Tao and we actively put it to use, we can end up in a positive situation. So we practice the Tao and we see someone who really needs help, and therefore we can provide assistance, guidance, and support. Now, this has a positive effect, so immediately the person who received the help is grateful. There's gratitude coming back to the person, you, who provided the assistance. But the positivity doesn't end there. the person who received the help decides to pay it forward. It is the Tao. There's a ripple effect. This causes positive energy to course through and affect another person, who in turn returns goodwill to the initial origin of the positive energy. And that doesn't end there, because the person who received the help may do an act of kindness to yet another person, who will then return that positive energy to the Tao sage, or the original initiator of that positive energy. So look at the difference. The person on the left who initiated the negativity will be like, why is everybody out to get me? Or may say, I knew it. They're all against me. Whereas the person on the right, the one who's projecting the positivity, is enjoying life because everything is good, everybody is so nice. It is also important to note that these patterns apply to everything. It's not just good deeds, bad deeds. I mean, every aspect of life. So for instance, finance can be an example. Money is a form of energy exchange. Therefore, those who give according to their ability to give will benefit from the giving threefold. And when I say giving according to the ability to give, it means providing a charitable, doing an act of charity, but keeping it well within your abilities, so you don't damage your ability to continue giving. It is also important to note that most of the time, we cannot see these arrows. We cannot perceive the energy exchange that's taking place in the karmic plane. It is beyond our physical senses. And just because we don't see it, we should not assume that they do not exist. This is very real, and this is why people come up with the rule of three to describe how anything that put out there can come back to us magnified several times. And I have definitely seen instances where it's not just a tripling, but far more. Imagine something coming back to you multiplied 10 times. That can definitely happen. Indeed, it happens all the time to people who practice and follow the Tao. Previously, we talked about heaven and earth. We talked about how they exist indefinitely. They exist for the myriad of things, not for themselves. And we want to emulate that example. We want to dial down selfish concerns. We want to live for something that is greater. And when we do so, we're definitely going to notice the difference that this makes in life. Summary for today is about the sages, about how they can be putting themselves in the back, they can be outside of themselves in terms of their concerns. So putting themselves in the back is what we call servant leadership, providing assistance and support to everyone. And the natural consequence of that is people will place you front and center. So I want to invite everybody to see yourself as the servants of the group, not the master. And I will further say, you're going to have a great time doing this, following this teaching, because life is all about building good relationships. Everybody you help, everybody you get to know is like a fascinating book waiting for you to read. You're going to have a great time. Number 2, take care of others. Practice compassion, caring for the welfare of the group. The group will take excellent care of you. This goes back to our diagram of karmic energy exchange. the caring you put out comes back to you at least threefold. It is also related to number one because the value that you place on the group comes back to you as the value that the group will place on you. It therefore makes perfect sense that they want to bring you out from the back and place you in the front. Number three, practice altruism. Here, I want to say work to benefit the group rather than yourself. You end up with the greatest benefits of all. That is to say, you plant the seeds of altruistic actions. In time, you will enjoy the blooming flowers, bountiful harvest, ample rewards in life. And this is the best way to go because it is the way that nature works. The results are all but guaranteed because it is the Tao. These 3 points that you see here are related and interconnected. I invite you to think of them as 3 refracting surfaces of the wish fulfillment gem held by the Bodhisattva. They may shine in different ways, but they originate from the same light. Our meeting has come to an end, but the journey continues on. Until next time, may the Tao fill you with peace and happiness.